What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this MCU video. So it's been a while since I've done a video. I haven't been able to for a while, the last week, just because, life always gets in the way, as you know. But we are back here with a Doctor Strange and the Multiverse video. So we know that Doctor Strange is going to be the multiverse of madness. It's going to be crazy. We're finally getting the multiverse in the MCU. We thought we were going to be getting it in Spider-Man Far From Home, but we didn't. Mysterio played a trick on all of us, and it wasn't the MCU. It seemed too good to be true, to be honest, didn't it, with that happening? And it would kind of do away with Mysterio just a bit if we got a version of him from another world. And personally, I thought that what we'd get is him to be the hero, and then the Mysterio from this world would be the bad guy, and he was here to stop his evil version. But then again, that's not what we got. And sometimes the fan kind of booking, so to speak, of the movie can sometimes get away with us, and we can run away with what we actually want. But the multiverse, as we know, was really uttered first in the Doctor Strange movie when it was mentioned in the original Doctor Strange movie as well by the Ancient One. So what we've got here is a leak from 4chan, so please do take this with a pinch of salt, to say the absolute least. But some of it looks really, really cool. Now, of course, they know that it is going to be tied in somehow with the WandaVision story from Disney+. Now, I don't know about you, but there are just far too many streaming services out there. I mean, we've got Netflix, Amazon Prime, DC Universe Unlimited, I think that's what it's called, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, and that's just a touch. You've got Crunchyroll, everything, absolutely everything there, and fighting for our attention. Apple TV is not really going to be on my radar, but Disney Plus is something I'm going to sign up for straight away, but I don't know if it will be available here in the UK straight away. Unfortunately, we may just have to wait quite a bit, which sucks. But WandaVision is going to be a TV show on there, and of course, Wanda is a master of reality. She broke the reality of the mutants there in, of course, the House of M storyline. She said no more mutants, which led to what she actually wants. Now, of course, she is grieving madly from poor old Vision dying. Maybe this will lead to her trying to get help, or she will just explore the multiverse in some way. But let's go from what this leak actually says. So it says that the film will indeed be a horror film. Yes, we know that because Nightmare is going to be the villain in there. And Scott pitched, that's the director, the first one as a horror, but Disney wanted to play it safe for Steven's first outing. Now that he's an established character, Marvel is ready to take a risk. A horror movie would be great. We saw some of the original kind of style of the comics in the multiverse when he goes through it. And of course, it will be a PG-13. That was already confirmed there at San Diego Comic-Con. It will be a direct tie-in to WandaVision. Wanda will go insane after the events of the series and splits open the multiverse. Steven is torn between killing her or trying to redeem her, since he knows she is a good person deep down. He will also need to find a way to repair the shattered multiverse before everything goes to shit. Wanda will get a brand new look in this movie that is scary and will highlight the witch part of her character. It will include the crown. I'm also hearing her hair will be black, and I think we're getting a gothic Wanda. Now that does make sense. In my opinion, that does make sense, seeing her finally transition into the comic version of herself. She got her powers from not what she got from the comics, to use a... Sorry, that was absolutely terrible, but you get what I actually mean there, don't you? She's not very comic book accurate. However, they retconned her that she's not a mutant, but yeah, it's weird. However, we're going there, we'll be getting her proper comic book origin in some way, or at least going some way to get her to look like the comic book version of herself, which I think would be really cool. Seeing her with the crown, the full cape and everything would look amazing. And maybe this is how they'll bring back Quicksilver, because I really do miss Quicksilver, and I really am disappointed that they killed him off, to be honest there, to be completely and utterly honest. And that does make sense. I do think that she will break the multiverse or rip it open in some way. And I say rip it open because then we can start exploring it and seeing it in some way. Maybe we could get a version of Miles Morales. We could see the Spider-Verse be intertwined with Sony. Yeah, once again, very, very wishful thinking there. So next up, we've got Monica Rambeau, Darcy Lewis, and Jimmy Woo, who will be a part of the movie as well. People have been speculating how Monica gets her powers at the MCU. Of course, she was a version of Captain Marvel there in the original comics. And really, it's strange that she was involved there. But Monica will get killed in WandaVision. But Stephen enters a universe where Maria Rambeau gets blasted by the Space Stone instead of Carol Danvers. Maria was pregnant at the time and she didn't know, and Monica inherited her powers and became Photon when she grew up. That's interesting. Now, this is where it gets weird. I don't see why they would include her so heavily in this movie. It doesn't make sense. She wasn't well received in Captain Marvel, the Rambeaus, that is, characters, and it would be odd. But if he is going on a trip throughout the multiverse, we may see many different things, and I can't see this being too much of a huge part of the movie, maybe just a little bit. Now, new characters include Claire, a seasoned sorcerer from the Hong Kong Sanctum that Stephen falls in love with, Jericho Drum, a necromancer from the London Sanctum whose parents were evil voodooists, Brother Voodoo, there being the villain, is also hinted as well, returning is Wong, and the Ancient One and Christine. The main villains will be Nightmare, an interdimensional demon who feeds on people's fears. He is eating at Wanda, influencing her terror and making her go insane. Agatha Harkness, a disciple for Nightmare who is proficient in witchcraft, and Shuma Gorath, a big eyeball. That's all it says there. However, ends up playing Wiccan from WandaVision, will also be in the movie, assisting Doctor Strange. Now, this is where it gets absolutely off the rails here, and I think that slowly this leak has started to lose somewhat of consistency here, where it says that Marvel Zombies will play a big part in the movie, and Stephen will spend some time here trying to get a MacGuffin. We'll see Zombie Cap, Zombie Iron Man, and a Zombie Doctor Strange. The Sorcerers will battle a Zombie Hulk. The animated series What If will be a sequel of sorts to Multiverse of Madness, and alternate timelines we see here will be fully explored in the show. Now that makes sense. Seeing this as a lead-in to kind of What If would be good, because to be honest, I'm not really that interested in a What If it's not canon. That sounds stupid, but what I'm saying is I'm interested in seeing the multiverse or different timelines be introduced or explored if they are actually have effect on the shows. The What If doesn't really that interest me without that. So having that actually have an influence or have some sort of semblance of connectivity to the movie arm of the MCU, that is personally what I actually want to see. I do actually want to see that personally. I think that would be very, very cool, to say the absolute least. Now, as we're just going to have a second sort of part here. It's just two parts I wanted to talk about. I didn't want to do too much of this here. I didn't want to kind of do two videos because I don't have the time. But we've got Crisis on Infinite Earths coming in early December. Now, of course, if you know what Crisis on Infinite Earths is, then you know that, well, the entirety of the DC universe, the multiverse, was pretty much folded into one. That's massive. So let's not forget that we've got multiple TV shows: Batwoman, Black Lightning, Arrow, The Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow, plus Supergirl. That is 6 TV shows, all predominantly, mostly on separate Earths, which is pretty much a bad thing in my opinion. Now, we've got Crisis on Infinite Earths. That would be really, really cool. So what we've got here is the fact that we've seen clips of the TV shows and we've seen the Weather Witch on the Supergirl set. So this is my prediction that we will be getting a unified Arrowverse. The Arrowverse will be all in one Earth, and we'll see crossovers be a lot easier. Synergy between episodes would be a lot easier because it makes sense. If one show is failing in the ratings, why would you not have a bigger show, more popular show like The Flash pop up on Legends of Tomorrow or pop up on Supergirl or vice versa? It makes sense that the CW actually do this. Now, the question is, how is Arrow going to fit into all of this? Now, this is a fag packet theory. It's not really been properly thought out, but I think that obviously at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths, we had people in a bubble kind of void. So we had Alexander Luthor from Earth 3. We had the kind of big original Golden Age Superman and Lois Lane stuck there. I think that we will see Felicity, Arrow, and possibly someone else stuck in this time frame. I don't think that the Arrow will die. He will simply be stuck in a different world as we see all of the Earths stick together and combine into one. So that's just my theory there. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Please drop a like and subscribe. And we're also on Medium as well. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.